That when we find a leader that is from a local community or a nation, they go back to their nation and they go to the same culture that they're from, or they go to a near culture to where they're from, extraordinary things happen.
We are a bunch of ordinary people that love Jesus and that said yes to His call. Our heart is to see every tribe and nation come to Jesus so that He may be glorified. We are passionate about Jesus and we're excited to equip, train and send people so that He may be glorified and that His kingdom may come.
Yeah, we know that God delights in using ordinary people for His purposes, because when they do extraordinary things, then He ends up getting the glory. So at All Nations, we don't worry about being ordinary. We actually delight in it because we believe God delights in it. Because He gets the glory.
Our vision is to see Jesus worshipped by all the peoples of the earth. And our mission is to make disciples and train leaders to ignite church planting movements among the most neglected peoples of the earth.
At All Nations, we dream about laying crowns of unreached people groups at the feet of Jesus. Our founders, Floyd and Sally McClung, really started this vision, and so we feel like we're just building on top of that, and we're just continuing the legacy that they started. We delight in the fact that we can pursue something that's greater than ourselves. You know, it's said that if your vision doesn't scare you, it's not from God. So we are very scared by our vision. We feel sometimes it's so big that it's only God that can do it. But actually that's a sign that it's from God. And then when we trust Him, we see extraordinary things happen. And actually when we look back at the last 10 years, we asked the question, we said, what is the most fruitful thing that God did through All Nations in the last 10 years? And we came to the conclusion that it's indigenous local leaders. We've trained so many people in our training programs in the last 10 years, but when we've trained leaders that go back to their countries, so local leaders that go back to their countries, we see extraordinary things happen. We've seen one man went back to Uganda, to Kampala, and started what is now a movement of over 2,000 churches. Others have gone to Malawi and Zimbabwe, and hundreds and sometimes even thousands of churches have started among neglected peoples. And so what we've realized is that the most fruitful thing that we do in All Nations is actually standing behind local leaders. That when we find a leader that is from a local community or a nation, they go back to their nation and they go to the same culture that they're from, or they go to a near culture to where they're from, extraordinary things happen. And some of the most fruitful things that we have seen, and some of the most people that we've seen come to Jesus, has come through these local leaders when they go back to their nation. But we realized the best thing we can do is when we stand behind them and we support them, we pray for them, we train and equip and coach them, that they become extraordinarily fruitful. And we can then just rejoice in the fruit of these guys. We like to say that they are our heroes. As we stand behind these men and women at All Nations Cape Town, at what we call the hub, we just realize this is the place that God has for us. This is the place that God has called us to stand in. So when we look at what God has already done, when we look at neglected peoples being reached, and we look at thousands of people coming into the kingdom, we stand amazed at what the Lord is doing through All Nations. Again, we consider ourselves to be pretty ordinary, and we recognize that it's God using us, even in our ordinariness, to extend His kingdom and to reach many people with the gospel. We would like to invite you to partner with All Nations as we stand behind these local leaders that we are training and sending out in order to obey the Great Commission, where Jesus said, go into all the world and make disciples. Stand behind us, stand with us, so that we can do the work that God is calling all of us to do as His church. to be able to bring in the harvest.
So there's 3 ways that you can partner with us. First, you can partner with us financially. Secondly, through prayer. Or thirdly, through networking with us, telling other people about what we are doing, and so network with us.